Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards and Matters of the Heart. And it's time for this month's Tarotscope for February 2025. I'm going to do a little reading for every astrological sign. I'm going to start with Aries and end with Pisces, and I'm going to put some convenient little timestamps in the bottom of your screen of which you can get to the relevant information rather quickly. And if you want an even more accurate reading, I suggest that you also listen to the message for your astrological moon sign and rising sign as well. It'll just give you a little bit more of a nuanced picture of what might be awaiting you for February 2025. So without further ado, let's go into the Tarotscope readings for all the signs. First, we're going to start with the astrological sign of Aries. So, if you're an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. And the card we get first is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is a warning card, not to take on more than you can handle. But it's also a card of warning you not to take things personally that might be accumulating on your plate at this time. We have these different figures on this card. You can see two of them in the background. They're kind of sulking and they're looking at the sea. They're looking at that element of water, which means they're stuck in their feelings. And they're feeling defeated because they tried to pick up these five heavy swords, but they were unsuccessful with that. And then there's this other guy who kind of comes in and he's flanked with that element of air. It's blowing through his red hair. And he's picking up three of the swords for now and leaving two for later. And what this could represent for you, Aries, is that this is a month to take a logical approach, to take action on your priorities, the things that are most important, but to leave the stuff that's unimportant behind. So this might be a time to really refocus on what is your major goal right now, what it is that you want to do, instead of feeling overwhelmed because you want to do this and this and this and this, and why can't I do it all right now? This is a card that really does say to simplify. The next card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom this next month of February for Aries. And we got a little bit more of a promising card with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is telling you that you're just at the precipice of a wonderful new chapter in your life. The Three of Wands shows the figure who's looking out over the sea at new lands and new places, and the waters he's looking over are glowing orange from sunrise or sunset. And this does say that the sun is setting on an old reality for you, Aries, but it's also rising on a new reality. And this is a time where you really need to get clear about what your priority is, what's going to take you to that place of your highest potential at this time. And also with that Five of Swords, what might be thwarting your progress? What might be blocking you? What thing are you getting stuck on emotionally or mentally and just kind of chewing on that over and over again? Three of Wands is telling you to release all of that behind, to look at the new possibilities. And this is a really wonderful card for pioneering new energy that Aries is so famous for. So I feel like this is telling you to look toward the spring, maybe even look toward March with that Three of Wands for a positive new beginning here. But there's definitely a shift of energy, and it's definitely time as well to simplify and focus on what's important and not carry everything with you into this important new chapter. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Taurus. So if you're a Taurus, this is the first card, which is going to talk about where it's best to place your focus for February. We got the Devil card reversed. And before you freak out, everybody's got a devil on their shoulder and everyone's got an angel on their shoulder. We all have that voice within us that's limited, it's scared, it feels stuck. And yet, when the Devil card comes up reversed, it really says that that inner saboteur, that shadow voice, is losing its grip on you. It's as if you're slipping out of old chains of mental thinking that things just have to continue the way they've always been because they've always been that way. Sometimes this card can also indicate that you're calling out certain lies that you've been telling yourself. That you can't do something, that you aren't able to shine, that you aren't able to succeed in something. The inner saboteur can sometimes be a powerful voice in our head, but it's always one that's linked to lies, to things that aren't true. And so I feel like this is a month for you, Taurus, where it's really important that you're focused on what are the lies that I'm releasing in my own path? What are the things that I might have been telling myself before that just simply aren't true, that are blocking me, and that are preventing me from really being limitless and in connection with my light. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month, Taurus, is a very opposite sort of energy with the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is a card of action, doing things. Ace of Swords can say it's time to take control. It's time to take control of new conditions in your life by making a choice or a decision. But this is a card of empowerment, whereas the Devil card, upright or reversed, will always have to do with us doing a battle with the disempowered part of ourselves. And so there is this fork in the road that's in front of you. And I feel like you really want to take that energy of the Ace of Swords and slice through those chains that inner saboteur might have been programming your mind with up until this point. The Ace of Swords is saying that something really exciting is just around the corner, and that when you act, you win. And yet, when you avoid, or you hope, or wish, or wait, or you take a passive approach and let your inner saboteur take the soapbox, you lose. So, this is an important month for you to really stay focused on what's going to make you win, what's going to make you powerful. That's what the Ace of Swords is all about. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. We got the Ten of Pentacles reversed, which for me, it shows this family scene with that old man in the center. And when I look at this card in the reverse position, I think of ancestors. I think that there's something important from your ancestors coming through, Gemini. This could be a time when you're learning from generational lessons, things that your own ancestors might have had to struggle through. Maybe you're applying their strength or their approach to a situation you're struggling with. Sometimes this card can also just indicate the spirit of your ancestors might be making themselves known to you more and more. You might feel attracted to asking for some sort of help, or even feeling like this is going to be a time where the answers that you're looking for can be found in old generational patterns, and that maybe this is your time to break some of those patterns. But I also just kind of feel like there is this sense of support that's coming from this card. And it might be a time where it's really important for you to honor not only your own journey, but the journey of your family, your people, your tribe, wherever you're coming from. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month, if you're a Gemini, is actually the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands shows a bit of an inner conflict going on. Sometimes this card is associated with competition. We see the competing adolescents that are all fighting with each other. They're all trying to prove who's got the biggest stick. And yet they're all wearing these very elaborately, differently decorated costumes, which show that really it's a battle between apples and oranges. There really is no comparison. Maybe there's something that you're struggling with this next month, Gemini, where you're comparing what you're doing against what others are doing, or you're feeling like somehow this is a struggle and you have to get ahead. And yet you might need to just align with whatever's ancient within you. It might be a time to also look at your current situation with the maturity or the wisdom of the ancestors that come from behind. Also, the five adolescents on the card can indicate, especially when it's juxtaposed against that old man on the card of the Ten of Pentacles, a time where it's important that you're responding to life's challenges with maturity this next month, doing what your inner adult would suggest that you do, and not getting sort of flung into an adolescent brain of comparison or self-consciousness or worrying about how you're going to get ahead or achieve. Maybe you're entering a very important competitive arena and you need to remember who you are. And who you are is a line of generations that go back and back and back, thousands of years. There's wisdom within you. And it might be a time to tap into that ancient wisdom to meet the moment. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Cancer. So if you're a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this first card is going to represent where it's best for you to place your focus for February 2025. And we get the Seven of Pentacles reversed, which, we see this man who's in the garden and he's growing this crop and it's not quite ready for harvest. And when this card comes up reversed, it can represent an impatience with something. Like, why isn't this ready for harvest yet? I've been putting all my focus and energy in this thing, and I'm just not seeing it grow quite as well as I would like it to. Sometimes Seven of Pentacles is telling you to stop, to breathe, and to not maybe take this to an emotional place of frustration or impatience, but instead to take a step back and look at the big picture. You might need to look at life's events in a proper context of something that's a little bit wider than maybe just the small view that you're looking through. So, in other words, don't look at your current situation with the eyes of the mouse who's looking at the little molehill and it's a huge mountain. But instead, you want to really take the vantage point of the hawk and sort of circle over your life and look at how everything is sort of fitting into its proper place. And also, the Seven of Pentacles, upright or reversed, is telling you that even if it's imperceptible right now, things are growing in your favor. And you do need to learn to be patient with it. And you might be saying, patient, I've been patient. I don't know what you're talking about. But patience is something that is going to be required when we see the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Something needs time to grow, to develop the strong roots that are going to help it stabilize in the life storms and dramas that may come. And so just be patient with the process when we see Seven of Pentacles reversed. Advice from your inner wisdom this next month. There we go, Nine of Pentacles, which also has to do with patience. If you look really closely, I don't know if you can see in the picture, but a lot of times there's a little snail on the Nine of Pentacles card. And snails represent slow growth. They also represent sensitivity surrounding issues of things moving slowly. And yet the Nine of Pentacles is called the wealth card. We see the wealthy woman luxuriating in her garden. And she has that little falcon that she's taming on her hand. Notice her left hand is wearing the glove, and left is the side of receptivity. The glove can be a symbol for you being protective about what you're receiving at this time, what you're allowing in. Even the snail's shell can protect that sensitive underbelly of the snail from the harsh influences of the external world. And the falcon can also represent your ambition, your focus, that tenacity that drives you forward. And yet the Nine of Pentacles is showing restraint at this time. This isn't the time to unleash the falcon and send it off after the goal. It's a time to wait for the right moment and to make your necessary preparations. There is that old saying that good luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So perhaps it's time to get all your ducks in a row, get all your materials aligned. So when the right moment does come, you can unleash the falcon and strike. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Leo. So if you're a Leo or have some prevalent Leo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. And we got the Six of Cups, which is a card of reminiscence. It's also a card of the past. And for whatever reason, Leo, in the month of February, this is going to be a time when you're reviewing the past or revisiting the past. This might be a time when you're connecting with people from the past. Or it might also be a time when you're reviewing your own progress. Maybe you need to look back at where you were 6 years ago and where you are now. And maybe take note of what's changed or transformed in that time. You need to understand your journey and where you've come from so you can fully appreciate in this moment not only what needs to be done still, but what you need to acknowledge as a personal success or a triumph. And also the Six of Cups is a card of remembering what makes you authentically happy from the past. Sometimes this is a card of circling back and remembering a part of ourself that we might have left by the wayside a long time ago, and to recollect it again or recollect that part of ourself. So I just feel like this is going to be a time where looking back is important for you, Leo. The advice from your inner wisdom for the month of February is the Ten of Wands reversed. And this is the card that just says that you've been grinding. You've just been going. And this card says that because you've been so hardworking or focused on your tasks, joy wants its turn. This is a card that says that this might be a period where it's important for you to plan for a break or to put some of those burdens down. But also when I see the Six of Cups with the Ten of Wands reversed, I almost feel like you're needing to take stock of your journey up into this point Instead of just relentlessly driving yourself forward to the next achievement or success, maybe it's time for you to absorb or acknowledge or even celebrate what's been done already. Ten of Wands, upright or reversed, is a harvest scene, and your hard works are going to result in an eventual harvest. But you also need to remember what's going to bring you joy, what brought you joy in the past, or what authentically has been the whole point of this journey up into this moment. And I think if you can remember that, it's really going to release some of the burden of the tasks that are still yet to be done. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Virgo. So if you're a Virgo or have a lot of Virgo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. And we get the Eight of Pentacles, which is the card of hard work. We see the craftsman in his studio, and he's involved in that daily grind. He's just repeatedly striking the chisel with his hammer. And the Eight of Pentacles, too, can represent that this is a time for you to be consistent, Virgo. That consistency is going to allow you to reap the best result eventually. And yet also there's a little hidden symbol on the Eight of Pentacles. The craftsman's studio, the sort of work that he's doing, is connected to the town behind him by this small little winding road. And what this is a reminder of for you, Virgo, is that no matter what daily grind you're involved in, no matter what kind of work you're involved in, this is one of your platforms for not only connecting to the community, but also improving the world in your way. And this is a card that really does remind you of the importance of the work that you're doing. And if you're like a lot of the Virgos that I know, sometimes they do a lot of work behind the scenes and they don't always get the credit for it. Sometimes they do wonderful things and they do it so well that other people just think that it automatically just happens that way and that, that no effort actually goes into it. But this is an important time for you to really acknowledge the importance of your own work. And also keep your goals in mind and know that consistency is what is going to allow that reward to come. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month, if you're a Virgo, is the Page of Cups. And of all the Cups cards, this is one of the most sensitive Cups cards. This can represent sensitivity. This can represent feelings, emotions. Might also say that you're just feeling a little bit more tender right now, especially around issues of work. And maybe that's even showing up in your body. Maybe you're absorbing some stresses and you might be noticing that there's some imbalances that might be happening. And it's just because you're sensitive to that environment. But also the Page of Cups, he's got that little fish that whispers into his ear. And what that's a symbol for you, Virgo, is that this is an important month for you to stop and to listen to your inner self, your emotions. What are you feeling? What do you need? The little fish will tell you. The fish knows where all the sunken treasure can be found under the ocean. And so this is a time for you to access that treasure within you. And the only way that you're able to do that is to stop sometimes that daily grind and to reflect. Or maybe when the job is done, put it away. Don't take it home with you. Don't grind over it over and over again. Maybe what you're needing to do is shift mental gears and really listen to what your heart needs at this time. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra or have a lot of Libra in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February 2025. We get the Nine of Swords reversed. And the Nine of Swords reversed can sometimes come up when you're waking up from the nightmare that you're less than you truly are. The Nine of Swords upright or reversed can distort our perspective. It's like having a beautiful sunny day, but wearing glasses that are dirty. And that no matter where you look, it just looks like something is filthy or it's not really that great. And it's not that the thing isn't great, it's that your perspective is what's not so great. And so this is a card of wiping your eyes, clearing your vision, and really remembering the light. This card, upright or reverse, tells you the futility of isolating with your fears or things that you're feeling ashamed of or things that you might be struggling with emotionally. And instead, the challenge is to bring the sunlight back in. To shine a light on it is to be the best disinfectant. And so, Libra, this is a time for you where you might be confronting some shadows or some fears. But when the Nine of Swords comes up reversed, those fears are loosening their grip on you. You actually have an opportunity to flip the script and to change how you're looking at this current situation. And so I feel like it's time for you to remember the light, to go toward that light that's within you. And also to invite that light in by inviting others in to really see what it is that needs to be identified in your own heart, that needs to be validated or acknowledged. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month is Temperance reversed, which is sometimes a card of excess, indulgence, something being done too much. Perhaps the nightmare that you're waking up from, or the struggle or the challenge that that Nine of Swords reversed is coming from, is from a behavior that's been done excessively, or something that you've been over focused on or over ruminating on. This is a month to break cycles, to liberate yourself from things that might have been old mental challenges. And two reverse cards, Libra, a lot of readers look at reverse cards and they think, oh, that means something bad. No, reverse cards make you look at a situation in your life or a behavior from a different perspective, from something completely changed from how you normally approach the problem. And a new approach this next month is going to be just the ticket to set things right for you. It's time to identify whatever's been going on in excess in your life and make some conscious choices to empower yourself to really shift the energy into what's been neglected in your heart or soul instead. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus this next month of February. And we see the Seven of Swords reversed. And sometimes when the Seven of Swords comes up reversed, it can indicate that your luck is changing. So, that could be taken with a pinch of salt. Sometimes if you've been feeling really lucky and things have been so awesome, Seven of Swords reverse can say, expect the unexpected. This might be a time when you're not relying on your luck alone, or when you're making some preparations to reinforce things that look insecure in your life. But conversely, if it's felt like there's been this little black rain cloud that was following you all last year, or that it's just been challenge after challenge, this card can say that your luck could be shifting for the better. The little black rain cloud could be dissipating, and new light is being brought in. Seven of Swords reversed is a card of unpredictability, and this is a time for you to stabilize yourself, to align with what survives within you, what's powerful within you, so that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Because there is one guarantee in life, and that's that it's always going to do something different than we expect it's going to do. And so Seven of Swords is saying to remain flexible, mentally agile, and adaptable to whatever's happening around you, and to not get too fixed on the way things have been, but instead to embrace change and roll with the punches. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Scorpio, is the Emperor card. And the Emperor is a card of asserting your authority. He's a card of creating boundaries that are healthy around what you're trying to make successful. But he's also numbered 4, which can represent that he is a symbol of stability, strong foundations. And he's also holding that orb, which can represent the world, external worldly success. This could be a month for you, Scorpio, where you're really taking some important actions out in the world. This could be professionally, or it could even be something that really affects your long-term stability or security. But this is a month to assert yourself. And instead of passively just accepting whatever changes in luck or chance occurrences are happening around you, the Emperor card is saying it's time to take control of what you do control. And that is yourself and your response to all that's happening around you. And to bring maturity to the table, because that's what's really going to help you make the best possible decisions. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius or have a lot of Sag in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for this next month of February. And we get the Queen of Pentacles. And she is the gentle, patient queen. She's focused on that coin in her lap, which means she's focused on what she's materializing, what she's bringing into the real world. For you, Sagittarius, this could be a time when you're focused on your long-term goals, your career, the success that's awaiting you. And yet there is always this anxiety inherent with the Queen of Pentacles. She's got a little rabbit hidden in the bottom corner of her card. And the rabbit can represent that nervous energy of like, well, how is this going to go? Is it going to be successful? Am I going to be okay? Is everything going to be reassured in my mind? And yet the Queen of Pentacles does not get riled up by the rabbit. She does not put that anxiety on the soapbox and listen to it. She focuses in on the work that she needs to do. She focuses on the coin. What is it that you're manifesting? What is it that you really want to see materialize in your life? Instead of getting caught in a spiral of anxiety, this is a card of taking practical action and also just getting organized in your thinking, applying a practical approach to problems, and not getting, hysterical about things that might feel a little out of control or that you can't foresee an outcome with. Focus on the work that you need to do to stay excellent, and all will go well. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Sagittarius, is the Six of Swords. This is sometimes a card of travel, movement, sometimes changes that are occurring in your life. And the Six of Swords can also just indicate progression. The refugees on the card are leaving the rough waters behind them. They're sailing toward the smooth waters. This could be a time when you're sailing toward a smoother approach to the challenges that are at hand. But this is also a card of accepting changes that need to happen at this time and just going with the current, going with the flow. Both the Six of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles have this sort of organic, naturalistic quality to them, where things are growing in their appropriate time. And all you need to do is cooperate with that organic growth instead of trying to overly control it or force your will upon it. If you try to fight the river this next month, you're going to lose. So it's so important that you're surrendering to its magical current and allowing it to carry you to where you need to go. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. And we get the Ace of Cups. Now, number one, aces in a tarot reading are really good to get. They represent new beginnings and a fresh start. Sometimes in the case of the Ace of Cups, this new beginning has to do with the realm of your emotions and your feelings. Sometimes this can represent the rebirth of love in your life. It could be falling in love all over again with a part of your life that you might have forgotten about or that might have felt like it's lost its luster over the years. This might be a time when there's this reawakening. And also the Ace of Cups is a card of rebirth and renewal. And so I just feel like there's this supercharged creative energy that's coming up for you, Capricorn, where you're starting to feel some relief. But also Ace of Cups can be a card that's just telling you to give your heart what it needs. And maybe let love be the answer. It's amazing what happens in life when we approach it from a loving place and when we bless the things that are even challenging us. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know, good things are ahead for this next month of February for Capricorn, especially when they turn to love. Advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Capricorn, is the Hangman, which still does indicate that there are some sacrifices that you're making at this time. The Hangman is sacrificing the use of his legs at the moment to hang upside down from the branches of the tree of wisdom. And as he's hanging upside down, he's gaining a new perspective. All the energy is pooling to his head and it's starting to glow. And what that can indicate for you, Capricorn, is that you are starting to see things from a different perspective. You might be sacrificing your ability to just race through at this time, but instead sacrificing that time to look at the challenges in front of you with that new perspective are going to give you the insight to find the way forward. And yet, if done with that loving heart of the Ace of Cups, all these sacrifices are going to pay off eventually. So I just feel like this is a time to stay positive, even if you're involved in something that feels prolonged, a little uncomfortable, and is challenging you to look at things in a very different way. I still feel with that Ace of Cups that it really all will be for the best, and a rebirth is assured. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aquarius, and happy birthday to all the February Aquariuses out there. First card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February. And look at that, we got the sun, which for me is the best card in the deck. The sun reminds you that a new day is dawning. And whenever we see the sun, even negative cards that are around it or challenging cards, their effects are lessened. There's just this optimistic, bright sort of energy that's coming up for you. And this is perfect for you, Aquarius, because you're beginning a whole new year. And so this is an exciting time where there's lots of possibilities and where it's important for you to turn your face toward the light. The sun can also just indicate that this is a time to be optimistic, that there's something that looks very promising that you're investing your energy in or focused on, and that if you stay consistent with that, you will see it come into full bloom, probably around the summertime. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're Aquarius, look at that. This is going to be your year, Aquarius. We got the Strength card. And people don't just get the Strength card, they really earn it. And what does the Strength card show? It shows that woman with the white dress, a symbol for your higher self, who is subduing the lion below her. And the lion represents different things for different people. Sometimes the lion is the lower nature to some. Sometimes the lion represents your fears or something you've been struggling with in your life. And yet the woman on the card, the higher self, is subduing the lion. She's taking control of it. And so too for you, Aquarius, something that you've been wrestling with, you might find that you're calmly taking control of at this time. And that lion loves the self-control. You can even see him licking the hand of the woman as she's smiling down at it. So this is our time to make peace with the thing that's been a struggle for you. It might also be a time to subdue whatever you're struggling against by applying your higher self's perspective to the challenge. And also just be optimistic this next month. That sun being the best card of the deck can indicate that the year is getting off to a wonderful start. And last, but certainly not least, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Pisces. So if you're a Pisces, this is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for February 2025. And happy birthday to the February Pisces as well. Your first card for February Pisces is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is looking as if he's expecting an attack. He's got the sword upraised. He's on the defense. He's on guard. And sometimes this card can come up when you're feeling some trepidation, some anxiety, some worry about what's happening around you. Also, Page of Swords can sometimes represent other people in our life who have a defense up. They're a little prickly. It's hard to hug the Page of Swords. He's described as being very intellectually brilliant or smart, very clever, but also someone who's very hard to get close to on an authentic level because that guard is up. Whether this is you or another person, the Page of Swords could say it's time to lower your guard. It's time to be even more open or more vulnerable with those that are around you. But it could also be a time when you're extra patient with those people who are still having some growing to do. You know, pages in the tarot, they're the children of the tarot. They can represent individuals that are sometimes put in our life that are less than mature. And they may not always be accountable. Maybe we can see the work that they need to do so clearly, but they can't see past the end of their own nose. They don't really know what you're talking about. And so this could be a time where it's important for you to stay as the mature person in the room. The advice from your inner wisdom for Pisces for this next month of February is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands, I just feel like a saying for you Pisces, it's time to grow. We see the Lord of a Manor. He's obviously successful. He's got a castle with battlements and a beautiful view. And yet he's not completely satisfied with where he finds himself. He's holding the globe in his hands. He's holding the world. He wants more. And so too for you, Pisces. This could be a time to reach for more. Could also be saying that in order to attain more, or in order to achieve your greatest ambitions, you have to lower your trepidation for them. You have to lower your guard. You have to participate. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to ask for what you need, or to throw yourself out into the world and allow the chance for it to actually take place or happen. I just feel like this is an important month for you to get clear on what your new ambitions are going to be, what you want to invite into your life, and to really just let your life follow suit then. But most important of all, Be courageous this next month. Be brave. Lower those defenses and bravely open your heart to what your ambition really wants. And that was this month's Tarotscope for February 2025. I do hope you found this video useful. And if you did, it would be so appreciated if you gave it a thumbs up or shared it with a friend. Liking, subscribing to the channel, all of that stuff really does help YouTube know that you find this content useful. I hope you have a wonderful month, whatever it is that you're doing. And if you want to catch up with me, you can find me on my website, elliotoracle.com. I have tons of free resources there, free tarot card meetings, and also I have a card of the day every day that I pick and give you a little insight into what might be ahead. And if you also want to schedule a one-on-one tarot session with me, you can do that there too. My books are also available online, Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love. So do check those out if you're looking for a more empowering approach to tarot and not one that's based on fear, doom, dread, or gloom. With all of that, again, have a wonderful February, and I will see you again here every day, every week, and every month on my YouTube channel, Elliot Oracle. So do take care.